Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a off the field right now, out, he's fired. He's fired!
Collectively, we felt like we had to, do something.
There's only a few times in a man's life where you have a chance to stand up for something that you believe in and make a statement. So today I thought that was that chance and I took it.
There are no SOBs in this league. These are men that, that work hard, of integrity.
I know for a fact that I'm no son of a and I plan on continuing forward and doing whatever I can from my position to, promote the equality that's needed in this country.
We all remember Donald Trump bashing the NFL and its players and their mothers, and coaches too, for kneeling during the national anthem to protest racial inequality and police brutality in our country. Colin Kaepernick spearheaded that. He hasn't been seen on an NFL field in more than 6 years now. But here's what legendary broadcaster Bob Costas had to say about the matter.
What's happened here is that what was already an issue raised primarily by Colin Kaepernick has expanded beyond the specific point that Kaepernick was trying to make, which is a very valid point, and now has become near universal disgust with the president's insulting remarks. To give him the extreme benefit of the doubt, you'd say he's insensitive to the racial implications to make comments like this at a rally in Alabama, all right? He likes cheap applause lines. Do you want a president of the United States who, even if you're giving him the benefit of that doubt, is so tone deaf to the racial implications of this?
Costas, who is worth criticizing when warranted, believe me, is exactly right about Trump here. And this wasn't the only time he called out Trump on national television for exactly who he is.
He doesn't care about any principle, including American democracy, or any person. He cares about nothing other than his own perceived self-interest. So this is an element of grievance on his part because, as we all know, he is, after all, the most persecuted man in American history, and he's qualified to say that because he's a scholar of history.
Costas's takedown of Trump here also points to a larger issue with too many who consider themselves part of the right wing in America today. They think they're the most persecuted group in the country and probably the world, largely due to that steady diet of the media they choose to consume, which Costas hammers home again during a CNN appearance from just a few weeks ago.
The cult of Trump. Look what's happened to the Republican Party. And you ask what would be different? Look what's happened. The Mitt Romneys of the world, the John McCain, even when he was with us, they've been marginalized. CPAC used to be a place where thoughtful conservatives like Jonah Goldberg would show up to commiserate and to make their points. Now they might as well arrive in a clown car rather than a limousine.
Costas defending establishment Republicans without being asked, it's noteworthy. But he isn't wrong with how far the party has gone with their embrace of the most fringe characters imaginable, especially since the rise of Trump and the MAGA base in 2016. And Costas hit the nail on the head with this comment.
This is not a question of being conservative or being Republican. This is lunacy. They've descended into madness where people whose only objective is their next appearance on Fox News hold congressional seats and have sway within the party. And they all live in fear of Trump. It's a cult. It's not a principle. It's not a philosophy. It's no longer a party so much as it is a cult. Some of them are just bat bleep crazy, the Marjorie Taylor Greens of the world. But others are just so spineless and cowardly and so in fear of what turning on Trump and even acknowledging this madness would cause that they bite their tongues or they say things that they should know better. They don't really believe it. But, that's the Kevin McCarthy's of the world. And Fox News could have been a corrective to that.
Costas is right that since Fox News indoctrinated millions of Americans, they could have helped course correct them about the big lie and more. And yes, too many cowardly leaders in Congress decided to co-sign with Trump instead of fight and lose personal ground. I like that Bob Costas is boldly saying things about larger media and its direct influence in shaping how we think and what we think about. That he's known as a traditional sports guy, even better. If only more folks would keep that in mind when they tell players to shut up and dribble. Hell, how can they do that when so much is going on off the court that's been reduced to pure lunacy.